Well, I'm sure you all had a great time at the ThinkPad sessions of Spiritz 2020. Well, I now have something even more exciting and interesting coming your way. Yes, you heard it right. It's now time for the Spiritz quiz, and whosoever gives the right answer will be selected as the winner and will be contacted for a surprise gift. Well, all you have to do is give us the right answers, tag Spiritz Magazine, share your email ID or contact number, and we will randomly select one winner out of the right answer providers and contact them for further process. So let's get started with the questions, and the first question coming your way is, which edition of Spiritz Achievers Awards is this? Well, your time to answer has already started. You can answer in the chat box. The next question is, how many years Spiritz completed this year? And the next question is, who is considered father of Indian single malt? And the next question coming your way is, which is the most selling whiskey in India? Now this is getting really exciting. The chat box is already flooding with your answers, so keep posting your answers in the chat box. But do post your answers with complete details. The next question is, which spirit is made of agave cactus? And the next question is, other than wine, which alcoholic product is made of grapes? The next question in the Spiritz quiz is, which country is home to rice mine? The next question is, what is the main ingredient of beer? Well, keep posting your answers, and the next question is, which company is making spirit and liquor from mahua in India? The next question is, which country produces largest volume of hops? So we are in winters, and the next question is dedicated to rum. The next question is, which is the oldest rum brand? And the next question is, which is the highest rum consuming country in the world? Well, this next question is about champagne, And the question is, how much more pressure does a champagne bottle have than a car tire? Well, just two more questions to go, and the next question is, what is the legal drinking age in Delhi, Uttar Pradesh and Haryana? And the last question is, which country has the highest per capita beer consumption? Well, we've already started receiving answers, and keep posting your answers with the complete details. You never know, you may be the winner, the lucky winner, and you may get a surprise gift on behalf of Spiritz. Well, it's now time for something very exciting coming your way, so hold your breath. Indians love their dram of whiskey, and if it's a fine single malt, nothing to beat it. Spiritz and WeBev invite a select number of malt lovers to Jura 10-year-old Single Malt Masterclass, which is now being conducted by Jura's brand ambassador himself, Stephen Martin, straight from Scotland. Are you ready to have a whiff and taste of your favorite Jura 10 single malt? Go ahead and enjoy this fabulous single malt trip with Jura 10.
Well, a very good afternoon to everyone. My name is Sumedh, and it's a pleasure to be here on this this network this afternoon. WeBev is one of the leading import company, and we do some great brands as part of the portfolio. And we are very fortunate to again work with White & McKay in India and represent their brands exclusively for the Indian market. So it has been a journey which is about 3-year-old now, and we have made some great progress, and we really appreciate the support that comes with the brand. Today I have Stephen, who's the person who's responsible for the brand, and he was part of the launch plan that we had a couple of years now back, and we did some wonderful interaction with the consumer as well as with the media for the brand that we represent in India. So without taking too much time, I'll ask Stephen to take us through the journey of Jura. Maybe a bit of introduction for White & will be really good, and then we can go on with the journey of Jura. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking time today.
Okay, is that me, Sumedh?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Wonderful to see you all. And last year, actually, when we launched with WeBev in India, I came over for a week or so. And it was such an amazing experience visiting India for the first time. And I think seeing the appetite for whiskey made me very proud to see my national spirit adored by all of you all over the country. So hopefully some of you get to visit Scotland at some point and see the homeland of whiskey. And when you visit Scotland, such a remarkable little country, but our it's set up perfectly to produce what I believe is the best alcohol in the world. I think, you know, being Scottish can be quite. We're not great at many things. Sorry, it's just a little bit of feedback there. Can everybody go on mute? Lab, I think that's, oh, there you go, brilliant. Okay, we'll crack on. So yeah, you're being Scottish, it's difficult that we're not great at anything really. We don't have, you know, the best cuisine. We're not the most cultured society, but we make the best alcohol in the world because our country is set up perfectly for making whiskey. But not only that, we've been doing this for such a long period of time. And now whiskey is made in virtually, you know, almost every country in the world has some form of whiskey. But some countries have been doing this 10, 15, 20, maybe 30 years. We've been doing this for 500 years, which is why we've got 150 odd single malt distilleries all over the country, all making such amazing quality spirit at scale. Now, when you come over to Scotland, you'll probably arrive into Edinburgh or Glasgow and you can go out to some cool whiskey bars and some nice restaurants, do some historical stuff up the castle. As you move north, the landscape starts to drastically change. It becomes far more mountainous. It becomes windier, a little bit more rainfall. Then you start to move out to the west coast where it's a lot of rainfall and the conditions are just perfect for making whiskey. Mountains, clean, pure water hitting the mountaintops and flowing into the valleys. So it's quite natural for us to gather this up historically and turn it into alcohol because it's far more profitable. There's the reasons that people love whiskey, and there's so many reasons that people love whiskey, but I think one of those reasons is the romanticism of the location. The idea of Scotland, the misty glens, the mountains, the kilts, the clansmen. There's this really powerful symbolic iconism around Scotch whiskey that people really buy into and people really want it. And Jura is probably one of the best examples of this. The Jura distillery on the Isle of Jura out in our Hebrides. It's such a rugged, you know, remote and rough place to make whiskey. A very difficult place to make whiskey. But these islands in and around the west coast of Scotland, there's so many wonderful little distilleries that do exist in such remote populations, very small island populations. And if you think logistically, barley onto Jura and getting the whiskey off the island is a logistical nightmare. It's a very difficult thing to do. But this distillery that produces the wonderful whiskey that we are going to try, this isn't a small operation. This is an operation at commercial scale, coming out of a small island population of just over 200 people. Now, before I tell you a little bit about the distillery, I'll actually take you on a little tour of the distillery as well later on. But hopefully you've all got Jura 10 in front of you. And what I'll do is I'll just ask you to pour the whiskey into your glass. I'll take you through a tasting as we go through, but feel free to get your nose in. You can have a little taste. You can familiarise yourself, or in the case of some of you, probably re-familiarise yourself with the whiskey. Just, you know, I want to make sure you've got a drink in hand as we talk about the distillery. Now, if you come to Scotland, please go to Jura. It's a difficult place to get to, but it's very much worth the trip. And I remember the first time I went, it was would have been a number of years ago. And I'd been to Islay many, many times because Islay is the whiskey island. It's known as the whiskey island. And I'd been to Islay a lot because I'd worked with distilleries on Islay. And I'd never been to Jura. I'd always just gone to Ireland and back to the mainland. And after the 5th, 6th, 7th visit, I popped over to Jura for the afternoon. And I couldn't believe that I hadn't been before, what I was missing out on, this wonderful, sleepy island. It's not a small island, but it's a sleepy island, not a big population, very preserved and untouched. But what a wonderful community, what a wonderful culture. And everybody's got such a sense of humour. And the first time I went over, I did a little tour of the distillery. I went to the one pub for a beer and a whiskey. I went to the shop / post office. You could just spend the afternoon in the sleepy little village of Craighouse. And there's only one road in Jura. There's one road that goes round the island. It's about a 35-kilometre road. And you can't get lost because you're either coming or going. But as you travel down the road, you get this feeling that you're being watched. and you can see that there's thousands and thousands of deer crouched in the hedgerows. There's about 200 people, just over, and there's around 6,000 deer. And Jura translates in Old Norse as Deer Island. So you figure out pretty quickly that the island belongs to the deer. You're on their island and they watch you. And if you get close, sometimes they run away, but sometimes the big stags, they're not really fast. They'll walk out into the middle of the road in front of the car, and you don't move until that stag moves. You know, it's very much their island. But you drive around the long road and you come into the village of Craighouse. And on one side, you've got the pub. The other side, you've got the distillery. And what's unique about the Jura pub is you can get a whiskey drinking experience like nowhere else in the world, because you can be sitting at the bar having a Jura whiskey, a nice Jura 10-year-old, and when somebody from the local community opens the door and comes in, you can actually smell the fermenting wash from across the road. You can actually hear the hissing of the stills. It's such an authentic and wonderfully romantic whiskey drinking experience that you just can't get anywhere else, just because of the way that the village is set up. But it was opened in 1810. It wasn't licensed until 1831. And that's quite common, that a lot of these distilleries on the islands didn't take licenses until long after they were established, mainly because the customs and excisemen, they were always so scared to actually go and visit the islands, to the distilleries, because these islanders were so fierce that they didn't know what was going to happen to them. So the distillery didn't take a license out until 1831. But it was opened by the Campbells, the Campbell family, the Clan Campbell. They were quite a fierce clan, quite a powerful clan, very wealthy. And they opened the distillery. Basically, they opened the distillery because the west coast of Scotland and the islands is generally considered the birthplace of distillation in Scotland. It's considered, this is where alcohol was made first. They think that we took this from the Irish, but it's just across the water. And we started, you know, distilling in kind of clay pots and all this sort of stuff. So everybody on Jura was making alcohol over the centuries. They were all making, you know, in their caves and their pits and their huts, they were making some rough form of spirit. And the Campbells noticed this. And what they did was to make money. They opened a distillery and employed everybody to make alcohol for them. That was the idea. And they opened the distillery in 1810. And in 1876, a family called the Fergusons, and the Fergusons were whiskey merchants based in Glasgow, quite a wealthy family. They moved over and took the lease from the distillery. So they rented the distillery from the Campbells. But pretty quickly they fell out. The Fergusons and the Campbells, both very powerful families, they fell out. And the distillery actually closed in 1901 because the Fergusons left. They left the distillery, they took all of their equipment, they took the stills, they took the washbacks, they took the mash tun, they took casks, they took everything. And the distillery fell into disrepair. And what the Campbells did was, to avoid paying business rates on the building, they pulled the roof off the building. Because if a building doesn't have a roof, it doesn't qualify as a building. So that's what they did. They pulled the roof off. So these poor islanders had to see the heartbeat of their community, this whiskey distillery, fall into disrepair. And it kind of just fell down and dismantled. And it was, you know, it fell to pieces pretty quick because it didn't have a roof. And it shut for 62 years, which is quite remarkable. There's not many distilleries in Scotland that closed for such a long period of time and reopened. We've had distilleries, you know, resurrected, like Glenwithis and Wolfburn, for example, but we've not had many distilleries actually shut and then reopen the doors on the same site after such a long period of time. And the reason for this was because the community on Jura started to leave the island because the distillery was the focal point of the industry. So they all left. The population, it was 1,300, it went down to 1,000, went down to 500. In the 1950s, it was just over 100 people. So Jura was almost going to become one of those Scottish islands where there might have been 2 or 3 families, and that would have been it. So they set about reopening the distillery, and they put plans in place to get the distillery reopened. And after the Second World War, whiskey boomed. So this was the perfect time. Whiskey boomed because the British economy needed to recover after the Second World War, and Winston Churchill recognised the importance of Scotch whiskey in generating tax pounds. So he started developing a lot of export markets for Scotch, started actively developing export markets. Loads of distilleries opened in the 60s. You think distilleries like Tamnavulin, which is one of White Mackay's, distilleries like the Dalmore, they doubled their stillhouse capacity, they opened new warehouses. Many distilleries opened and many expanded. Jura was reopened in 1963. And what they did was, to get the distillery open in record time, was they brought over men from Glasgow. And if you ever come to Scotland, come to Edinburgh, it's great, this is where I am, but go to Glasgow, because they're all absolutely crazy in Glasgow. They all like drinking and partying, and everybody in Glasgow's got two things in common. They work really hard, but they also love football, they love soccer, but they take it so seriously that they all kill each other when the football's on. And when the Jura distillery reopened, they got 300 men from Glasgow and took them to Jura, which was great because they worked hard, they built the distillery, but every Saturday they would go to the pub and the football would be on and they would all kill each other. And there's no police on Jura, there's only one doctor. So there was a lot of problems that came with getting the distillery reopened, but it was opened in 1963, record time. Albeit the whiskey was very, very different. They changed the style of whiskey, which is really important when you're talking about Jura, when you're tasting Jura, because this is not what you would expect from an island single malt. You might expect something rough and ready and smoky and fiery and bonfires, sandcastles, oyster shells. Jura's not this. I actually think the whiskey in the glass it actually reminds me very much of the people of India. It's vibrant, it's bright, it's lively. It's not what you would expect from an island distillery. This is because Jura historically would have been heavily peated. Before 1901, there's so much peat in the land on Jura, the whiskey would have been really, really smoky. However, when they reopened the distillery, they went for a completely alternative style because the whiskey had to be in demand from blending houses. Heavily peated whiskey isn't particularly desirable for whiskey blenders. In very small quantities, yes, but not at scale. So they went for unpeated whiskey. That was the idea with Jura. Unpeated whiskey, so it was in demand from John Deers and Sons, Johnny Walker, and of course, White and Mackay. So the whiskey is bright, vibrant, it's colourful, it's lively. That's what you get from Jura. And the whiskey touches such a broad spectrum of flavours. And we'll talk about that as we actually go through and taste the whiskey. What I'm going to do now is actually, Shalini, if you can make me the host, I don't know if you have, but I'm actually going to try and take you on a little virtual tour of the island and the distillery. If this works, wish me luck. Can you see my screen? Shalini, can you give me the thumbs up if you can see my screen? Can you all see this?
Yes, we can see. We can see.
Oh,
Go ahead.
oh, great. Okay.
We can.
Yeah, we can see very clearly. Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, I'm going to play this for you. And hold on, I wonder if there's sound. I'll maybe try and turn the sound off so I can talk over it. But right, hold on. I'll try and turn the volume down.
Just a small request.
Yeah.
If you can, while speaking, because there's so much content in your communication, if you can go a little slow to, catch those contents a little more easily.
Yeah, no problem. Right, I'm going to turn the volume down on the video so I can talk over it. Okay, so this is the Isle of Jura here. Well, you're actually facing out into what's called the Sound of Jura, a body of water separating Jura from the mainland. So this is you on Small Isles Bay. And it's actually on a stunning day. The weather's very rarely like that. So it was a good day to make the video. This was our brand home manager, Mark Bruce, that he's made this video on his phone actually. So this is Jura Pier, and we're walking up towards the distillery. And you can see the Jura Hotel on the left-hand side, which has got the only pub on the island. So this is a very much the focal point of the community where everybody gets together and enjoys a glass of whiskey or two or three. So this is the village of Craighouse. This is the largest settlement on Jura, but again, it's just a collection of houses. And as we walk down the road on the right-hand side, you've got the one community shop, which is also the post office. And this is where you can get all your bits and pieces and, obviously post your letters and whatnot. So a very small, sleepy little area. but just such a lovely place to be, especially if the weather's like this. You know, there's no better place. This is the distillery here, opened in 1810, and it is such a stunning, beautiful backdrop to make whiskey right in the heart of Craighouse. The distillery is about 2.3 million litres of pure alcohol a year. So it's not a small distillery. It's not enormous, but it's not small. This is where the barley will come in. We try and get a delivery of barley most days. So it comes in 26 tons of malt a time. But we have to keep quite a lot of barley actually at the distillery in case, you know, Jura's quite a temperamental place that if the weather turns, we can't get deliveries. So here actually you see in the malt bins, we've got about 2 weeks supply of malt that we can call on if the weather is terribly bad and the boats can't travel, the lorries can't get to the distillery, we can still make whiskey. So that's really important. So we're not going to run out. So you'll have plenty of whiskey to enjoy over in India, thankfully. There's malt bin number 6. This is quite a nice little bit to see, actually. You don't get to see this when you do a tour actually at the distillery. Here's the Porteous mill. So it's a 4-roller mill, and we mill 5 tons of malt each time. And that's the original mill from 1963, actually. It still works. And then you have, you know, our full Lauter mash tun here. So this is where we start pulling the sugars out of the malt, and we create what's called wort. So 3 waters at different temperatures added over a few hours. And you start to pull the sweet liquid out, ready for fermentation. So stainless steel, full Lauter, you've got the rakes there, lovely. And what's left in the mash tun after mashing, we give to the local sheep and the local cows. It turns into what's called draff. So it's essentially cattle feed. So there's no alcohol in it, it's just little pellets that go to the local farmers, which is a really nice kind of tie into the community. Jura, the spirit's really light, and I'll talk a bit more about that when we see the stills, but this is due to the way we mash. It's a clear worts, and of course the fermentation times as well. So we're around 54 hours fermenting, and we've got, you know, a lovely stainless steel washbacks there. Into the still house, 4 stills, of course, working in pairs, but the stills are massive. I think they're certainly almost the tallest in Scotland. They're not as big as Glenmorangie, but they're quite big. They're right up there. 24, I think they're 24.5 feet. Absolutely massive, massive stills. The bigger the stills, the lighter the spirit, because the lighter vapors are going to have to work harder to condense. Heavier vapors are going to have quite a difficult time condensing. So that's really important. The fact that our stills are massive and you've got more copper area to interact with the vapors as well. So you're going to get quite a light spirit. The way that light translates in terms of flavour is very much, it's kind of grassy, green, little bit of green fruit. Also, flavours that I describe as they're almost yellow kind of flavour, floral, fragrance, meadows. These types of characteristics come through from light spirits. And there's our spirit safe there. There's our intermediate spirits receiver. So this is when the spirit's cut. This is when we gather the spirit, and it will either be casked on site. So we do cask on site, but the majority will be put into tankers and it will be casked on the mainland. So we do a little bit of both. What we cask on site, we store, and we've got 5 racked warehouses, and I'll show you inside one now. So there's about 30,000 casks on site, and they're all racked there. The vast majority are like the casks you see here. So they are heads, or what we call ASBs, American Standard Barrels. So they'll be around 200 litres, and we rack them, you know, we stack them high. So we do use a number of different casks when maturing the whiskey, but the vast majority is ex-bourbon. The spirit from Jura and good quality ex-bourbon casks are just an absolute match made in heaven. They just go really, really well together. But your ex-bourbon casks have to be great quality, or you're not going to get the most out of your whiskey. So that's a nice little tour of Jura, the actual, you know, the village of Craighouse and the distillery itself. Really nice place, and hopefully you really want to go after seeing that. Shalimi, I'm going to stop sharing, and you can take control again. Lovely. Yeah, I hope that makes you want to come. And if you want to get to Jura, you have to go There's a number of ways you can go, but you have to go via Islay or you take a boat from the mainland. And it's actually the second time I went, I took a boat from the mainland. And that first scene you saw, actually looking out onto the Sound of Jura. So the Sound of Jura, we call them sounds in Scotland. It's basically like a thin body of water separated by two land masses. It's always very fast moving. So they're always quite dangerous, these sounds, because the way the water moves so fast. But we took a boat over to Jura and pulled up to the distillery. It's absolutely lovely. But as we went past one of the islands, there's a little island just off the coast, and it's tiny. It's maybe, you know, a couple of 100 meters long, squared. And I just noticed a number of moving creatures running around this island. And I said to the chap driving the boat, I said, "What's that?" And he said, "That's Goat Island." And I said, "What's Goat Island?" And he told me a story that there was a few goats in the village of Craighouse. About 15 years ago, there was 5. And they were running around, eating everybody's plants. They were getting in the way of cars and stuff. So the local fishermen put the 5 goats on a boat, drove them out to the island and left them there. There's now like 25 of them, and they've just got this free reign. They run about this island. It's hilarious. I've never seen anything like it. But they're having a great time. But that's just really simple solutions to any problems. That's what you get from the islanders. Right, how do we make our whiskey? Let's have a little taste of the Jura 10. Because like I say, it's not what you would expect from a typical island single malt. And that's really important, not to dive into Jura and think that you're going to get an Islay style of spirit or something like Talisker or something rough and ready and fiery. Jura's not that. It's inviting, it's fresh, it's lively. It's got so many different flavour touch points. It's also got so many different applications. You can do so many different things with Jura. And we relaunched the range. It will be 3 years ago now. We relaunched Jura because we had a range of whiskies. You might remember Superstition and Origin and Prophecy. They were wonderful whiskies, but they were all very different. This is because of the stocks that we have available on Jura. Because of the way we make whiskey, we introduced our heavily peated distillation range in the 90s. And it was Richard Patterson, who heads up our whiskey making team at White and Mackay, decided to experiment with heavily peated whiskey at Jura. So what we do is 1 month a year, we do whiskey, 10 months a year, we do unpeated whiskey. We brew them separately. And then when we make the whiskey, we blend in a little bit of the the heavily peated, a very small bit, maybe 5. So it's there just for a little bit of muscle, just to give the whiskey a little bit of structure, give it finish. It's not there to be a foreground flavour. There's not a peated whiskey. It's not even a lightly peated whiskey. It's so subtle. But that's a very unconventional way to use peat. Normally, peat comes in right at the start. You would peat the barley and blend it together and then mash it together. We actually do it all separately. But historically, what that meant was we had such a diverse range of stocks. So we could make Superstition, which was medium peated. We could make Prophecy, which was Shalimi, I think you've muted me. Oh, I'm okay now, I think. I'm okay now. So we could make quite a range of whiskies with different flavour profiles. But what that did was, while it was wonderful at the time, it began to become confusing as to what this whiskey was about. What do they taste like? What are you going to find when you put your nose into a glass of Jura? So we reformulated. We changed the range so they all have a consistent characteristic throughout. Just a little bit of smoke in there, but it's so subtle. So subtle, right in the background. And that's where Jura 10-year-old comes in. Jura 10 is it's almost the flagship of our new Jura Signature series, which is absolutely delicious range of whiskies. And the Jura 10-year-old is actually a wonderful combination of ex-bourbon and sherry casks. Because what we noticed with Jura, and actually with a number of whiskies, but certainly Jura's a great example of this, is that good quality ex-bourbon casks work really well with a spirit of this nature, because the spirit is light, it's delicate, it's vibrant, it's lively, it's fresh. The characteristics that you get from ex-bourbon casks, if you think of vanilla, coconut, toffee, fudge, that's what you get from American oak. because it's high in lignin, it's high in vanillins. You might get a little bit of the bourbon soaked in there as well. It's going to influence, that corn spirit. So it just goes really, really well with the type of spirit we make, which is quite green and fruity and a little bit floral. With the 10-year-old, we've given it an extra little flourish by using a sherry cask. And sherry is a word that you hear a lot in Scotch whisky. And actually, I'm quite a big sherry fan, a big sherry drinker. And I got into sherry from Scotch whisky because there's just this wonderful synergy that exists between Scotch and sherry. If you ever get a chance to go to the south of Spain, you have to go. It's unbelievable. Go and visit the sherry bodegas of Andalusia. It's great. It's such a great place to go. And there's such an affiliation with Scotch whisky because of the way the industries work. And I always find it quite funny to go. And the way that our industries are interlocked, the south of Spain and Scotland, there is nothing we have in common with the south of Spain. They've got sunshine. They've got wonderful food. They've got a great life down there, and we're quite miserable here in Scotland. It's quite grey outside. We're all quite miserable and serious. Whereas in the south of Spain, they're all fun and brilliant, great food, vibrant, colourful. But I think it's the fact that our cultures are so different that we can produce something very balanced and rounded, like the Jura 10. So when you go to the south of Spain and you experience sherry culture, so much of the flavors that you pick up from sherry whiskies like Jura 10 start to make sense. They start to make sense. And we've worked with the sherry industry for centuries now in Scotch whisky, because we've been making whisky here for over 500 years. And we've been bringing casks over probably for about 500 years. And they essentially were transport casks. What happened, what the Brits were really good at was, historically, if there was the opportunity for trade, the British went. We saw the opportunity to bring casks of wine back from Portugal, from the south of Spain. And we went over and started opening bodegas and port lodges, which is why so many of them have British names. But when these casks came back and inevitably made their way to Scotland, we would fill them with anything. We would fill them with grain. We would fill them with fish. We would fill them with beer. We would fill them with whiskey as well. And over time, people started to notice the way that the flavors began to integrate. But in the 1980s, a rule came in that all sherry had to be bottled in Spain. You can't bottle sherry in the UK anymore. It has to be bottled in Spain. So all of a sudden, there was no more casks for us to use. There was no sherry casks. So the whiskey industry and the sherry industry had to come up with a choreographed plan and a relationship where casks could be seasoned and bodegas could work with distilleries. And we have this really close intertwined relationship now where we've got a steady supply of casks and they've got a steady stream of income from the Scotch whisky industry, which is so important to sherry because it's not an industry that's booming. So sherry is quite complicated. It's quite complicated, which is why I think the industry can struggle slightly, because sherry is just wine, and the characteristics you can pick up in a sherry matured whiskey like Jura 10 is very common in a lot of wines. The things like nuts, fruits, a little bit of spice. However, wine is easy to understand because wine is red, white, and rosé, and then you can make it as complicated as you want to make it. But everybody can understand the basic fundamentals of red wine, white wine, rosé wine, and sparkling wine. However, how do you explain Oloroso, Amontillado, Manzanilla, Fino, Pedro Jimenez to somebody that doesn't understand fortified wines or isn't particularly interested? It's a very difficult thing to bring into the mainstream, which is why sherry is struggling and which is why the demand for casks from Scotch whisky is so welcomed. So here we've got Jura matured in ex-bourbon casks and then finished in Oloroso sherry casks. So Oloroso sherry is an oxidatively aged sherry. It's been aged over a period in the Solera. And what the oxygen does, because the oxygen interacts with the wine, it makes it really nutty, a little bit of spice coming through, quite earthy. It's got a wonderful funk, Oloroso sherry. It's absolutely delicious. But what happens when you drink a sherry like an Oloroso is you salivate. You start to salivate. And when you go to the tabancos are the sherry bars in Andalusia, you order a sherry, like you say, can I have an Oloroso, please? And they say, They say, what would you like to eat? And you say, oh, I've just eaten, I'm not hungry. They say, no, you'll have to order food because you will be hungry the second you start drinking Oloroso sherry. It makes you salivate. You demand something to follow. The whiskey starts to pick up that characteristic. If you go in and have a nose, hopefully you've not drank your whiskey. But if you've got your whiskey in front of you, go in and have a little nose. And if you think of the influence from these ex-bourbon casks, vanilla, a little bit of creme brulee, maybe creme caramel. All these wonderful, indulgent, after dinner, dessert-like flavors is what you'll find from these ex-bourbon casks. You might get a little bit of impact from the spirit, but you're not looking for loads of impact from the bourbon itself, all about cask extractives. And then the sherry gives it a lovely little fruity flourish, orange peel. You might get a little bit of orchard fruit, maybe, a little bit of green apple, nice distillery character coming through. You've then got that beautiful nuttiness, it's a spiciness, there's an indulgent chocolate note through the middle. There's just such a vast range of flavour touch points there in the Jura 10. Go in and have a taste. You've waited long enough. Have a nice taste, hold it in your mouth for 10, 15 seconds. It's okay, it's the afternoon. You're allowed to have a whiskey. I should probably go easy. It's not even 11 o'clock. Coat your mouth, start to salivate, that sherry influence there, that beautiful kind of nutty integration. It's absolutely delicious. Now, I hope the way that I described the way we work with peated whiskies starts to resonate in the whiskey there, because it almost comes through to me like a kind of ground coffee or toasted coffee, or a kind of almost like spun sugar, burnt praline. That's the kind of characteristic that should come through. And that's what we're looking for. It gives the whiskey a nice finish, beautiful bit of muscle coming through. But it shouldn't be like, woof, kind of, bonfires on the beach, right in your, on the nose, kind of full on. But really, really complex. You can go back in for another sip. Your palate starts to adapt. It's great having a whiskey early in the day because your palate's so unadulterated. You can taste so much more. Delicious. I think the way whiskey's being consumed, and also, by the way, actually put some tasting notes into the box. If you've got any really kind of cool tasting notes or anything you pick up, put it into the box, because I love stealing people's tasting notes and claiming them as my own. It makes me seem much more intelligent. But I love there's so many ways to enjoy Jura. There's so many ways to enjoy whiskey now. And the way whiskey's being consumed is changing. And I think it's, well, there's so many reasons for that, but I think it's the smaller the world becomes, the more cosmopolitan society becomes. People are experimenting with new ways of drinking whiskey. Social media has played a part as well in the way that we can communicate around the world with a click of a button. So the way whiskey is being enjoyed is changing, which I love, because you can sit and enjoy a whiskey like this, neat, in a glass, have a little moment of reflection, or you can mix. Or you can have it side by side with something, with an accompaniment. Jura's such a great all-rounder. You can sit there, have a little sip. You can have a wee connoisseurial, analytical moment with a Jura 10-year-old, or it goes so well with a beer. We call it a half and half, or a half and half, a half and half here in Scotland. And when you go to your local pub, you'll have a whiskey and you'll have a small beer on the side. You call it, you just go back and forth, and you can change the whiskey and you can change the beer. Sometimes the more powerful the whiskey, you might go for like a stout or a porter. This Jura 10-year-old, really nice with like a fruity IPA, or you could even have a nice light lager. But it's such a nice way to enjoy whiskey, a half and half. Absolutely delicious. Also, you could serve that in a number of different mixed drinks. And what I'll do for you, I'm going to make you a little cocktail now, and this is something you can do at home. When I say cocktail, it's really, really super simple. I think something that we've seen from the way that we've had to live in 2020 is everybody is now a home bartender. which is brilliant. I see everybody making cocktails at home and mixed drinks at home, and because we've all got so much time and we're all going and buying booze or raiding our spirits cabinet and drinking the stuff right at the back of your spirits cabinet that you thought you'd never get to. You're now pulling out and you're mixing. And so people can make drinks. And what I'm noticing in the supermarkets as well is you can't buy cocktail shakers. There's no Angostura bitters. The liqueur shelf is bare because everybody's buying stuff for mixing drinks. So this is a really simple serve that I'll show you that you can make at home. And it's actually really tasty. And it's also quite an interesting approach to drinking whiskey. It's called the Jura Sunset. And I'm sure that we probably had a couple of these in India last year. I can't remember, but I'm sure we did. This is something we came up with last year with Jura whiskey. And the idea was, like I say, you can drink Jura in so many different ways. But I love challenging the whiskey drinking occasion, because in Scotland, the whiskey drinking occasion was always, the end of the night. End of the night, you'll crack open a bottle and you'll have a nightcap. Whereas this turns it on its head. This is like an aperitif, start of the evening, vibrant, colourful, full-flavoured cocktail. And it's really, really simple. 3 ingredients. So what you need is you can get yourself a nice big wine glass and fill it with ice. Really, really easy. You're then going to take 1 measure of Jura, depending on how much you like drinking whiskey. That measure can be anything you want. If you don't have one of these at home, you can use an egg cup. You're then going to take a liqueur called Aperol. And I'm sure Aperol must be distributed in India. It's almost like Campari's little brother. It's like bitter rhubarb and orange, and it's an Italian aperitivo. It's absolutely delicious. Orange, rhubarb, delicious. So I'm just going to add a little splash, the same amount, so equal parts, Aperol and Jura. Dead easy. So what we're doing is we're pulling out that kind of bitter orange and spice note from the whiskey. Then all you're going to do is top that with tonic. Get a nice tonic like Fever Tree, something delicious and fizzy. Little mix round and a little squeeze of orange. If you want, you can give it a little Christmas flourish, little sprig of rosemary. You can add a little bit of pomegranate juice. Do whatever you've got lying, ever you have lying about the kitchen. I know you'll all have fascinating ingredients in your cupboards, no doubt. So you can add anything to that, make it really tasty. And there's a nice little seasonal aperitif for you to enjoy over the festive period. They're really, really simple stuff. And I think that's just it with Jura. It's a great all-rounder. One of those whiskies, a great all-rounder. Share it, drink it all yourself, mix it, just as long as you're drinking it with a big smile. That's the idea. So what we'll do now is will we open up to any questions or even any observations, because I would love to hear your thoughts on the whiskey, anything you've seen, anything you taste, absolutely anything from any kind of cultural insight would be wonderful.
Yeah, Stephen. I have one question.
Yes.
Yeah. See, when you say that Jura, you mature in bourbon cask as well as sherry cask. Am I correct?
Yeah. So
what is the ratio of these two different cask whiskies mature? And then in what ratio this is mixed to create Jura 10?
Yeah. So the ratio, what we'll do is we won't fully finish. So what I mean by fully finish is not often do you come across a whiskey that is fully finished in a sherry cask. So a proportion of the whiskey will go into sherry casks, because when it comes to the whiskey making occasion, when they're actually making Jura 10, they'll always blend in 100% ex-bourbon aged whiskies, just because ex-bourbon casks are very balanced. And it's almost like, I always think of ex-bourbon casks are, if you go out to the pub with friends, I know it seems like a lifetime ago, ex-bourbon casks are always that friend that you've got. They're always the voice of reason. They're balanced, they're well-rounded. They make sure that it doesn't get out of hand. That's what ex-bourbon casks are like. Whereas sherry casks can be a little bit more boisterous and in your face, and anything can happen. They can deliver, they can almost over-deliver on flavour. So you'll always blend in a little bit of 100% matured ex-bourbon casks for balance. You'll be looking at quite an equal split. So if you say, for example, if Jura 10-year-old requires 20 casks, you would say roughly 10 of them might be moved into sherry casks for roughly 6 to 24 months. So there will be slight variation depending on how fresh that sherry cask is or how old that sherry cask is. There'll be a number of variants at play. So it'll be around 6 to 24 months. We'll use, around up to half the whiskey into sherry casks.
Great. And what kind of stills you have? You have still maturation, pot stills?
Yeah. Copper pot stills. So we've got big pot stills, yeah. So some of the biggest in the industry. So we've got four pot stills. I think they're second or third biggest, roughly in Scotch, but they're massive stills, which means the whiskey's light. So it was very strategic to put in big stills. This was very much deliberate. What you'll find is the smaller the stills, you've got more carryover during the distillation. So heavier, more volatile aromas are condensing. Big stills, the heavier, more volatile characteristics don't condense. They just come back down into the still, which is what's called reflux. Big stills, light spirit. So we've got big copper pot stills.
So is it bigger than what Glenmorangie has? Because they claim to have the biggest pot stills.
They're not as big as Glenmorangies. They're huge. They call them the giraffes, don't they? They're stills. They actually are the size of giraffes. Ours aren't quite as big as Glenmorangie, no.
Right. Anybody else?
Please raise your hand. Anybody else wants to ask question?
Sandeep?
Sandeep?
Yeah.
How's Jura doing in India just now? What are people's thoughts on the style of spirit? Do people enjoy this style of whiskey? How are they drinking it?
I think Karishma would be in a better place to answer this.
You want me to answer this?
Yeah, please.
So the people I have seen enjoying single malt here. So suppose they take a measure of single malt and water in the same measure, topped up with ice. That is generally what I have seen people doing, having single malt here. So that is the way we like to have it.
Amazing. How big is the glass?
That's the question.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, good.
Can you suggest, Stephen?
On the region where you're drinking.
Yeah.
It changes with the region as well.
So if you're in Leh, the glass is much bigger.
No, coming to Jura in India, Stephen, we believe that product has seen really very good acceptability. For the initial couple of years, of course, we focused a lot on building the brand in on-trade. So we got a lot of tastings done in on-trade, the listing started. And slowly we saw there was a big pickup for the brand from the retail point. And since we had even a bigger range, which is available at the travel retail points in India, I think that was again a big help because people could go for more variety, different variants. So even that helped. And we have seen very, very good traction. And also, I think point of difference, which a lot of people mentioned, was that Jura is fairly light as compared to a lot of other Isla malts that they tried, which they felt was very, very interesting because many have burned their palate before because they went for really, really very heavy, smoky Isla malts. So that's why I guess it started finding great acceptability with a lot of consumer. So I think it was just before the lockdown, we did see a lot of interest from group of single malt clubs and small groups who were working together to try some new stuff. So I think Jura is shaping up very well. And even during this lockdown period, where the sale is almost 95% happening only from the retail point, we are seeing fairly good traction with Jura. and also in some of the new markets where we haven't yet officially launched or did any activations. So it's been a good journey so far.
Good. I think that's it in terms of flavour. Just what you mentioned there. It's people are, when you mention peat and smoke, that can scare a lot of people who have maybe had a difficult experience before with peated whiskies, because it's quite a challenging flavour. You know, we're all different, but depending on, you know, what we're into, that can put people off whiskey for life if they've tried a heavily peated whiskey. So if people think Jura is going to be heavily peated, they won't taste it. On the other side of, if you're a big fan of heavily peated whiskies, which so many of us are, if you assume that Jura is going to deliver alongside those types of flavours, you're going to be disappointed, because it's not that. It's very, I think it's so important how we talk about the whiskey, how we communicate these characteristics, and you know, we tell people why the whiskey is the way it is.
Stephen, Mr. Push Saraf has a question for you.
Yeah, Stephen, thank you for your very informative presentation. I have tasted Jura for the first time today. Thanks again to Bishan and Shalini. This, I found it a little stronger than Talisker, for instance, which is surprising in view of the subsequent observation made by a speaker later. So why is it so that I find it very strong on my tongue?
Rennie, I don't know. It might just be subjective. It depends, really. For example, if you try Talisker whiskey maybe a little bit later on after a few drinks, it might seem a little bit softer. I think if you put them side by side, Talisker's got more smoke, certainly. It's got more spice as well. Jura's probably a little bit softer in that element. But it just depends on what you like. It depends, you know, it all depends. It's all very subjective. In terms of alcohol, yeah, no, absolutely. But in terms of alcohol, it's not as strong as Talisker, but different whiskies. But that's the beauty of Scotch, is there's so much variance.
Thank you.
I'm glad you enjoyed Jura for the first time, Rennie. That's an absolute privilege to be part of that.
I find the taste of, like you said earlier, nutty, and also with the toffee taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's because when you try the new make spirit from the distillery, so the spirit off the stills, it's very appley. It's got like a kind of green apple characteristics. So that toffee coming from the ex-bourbon casks, you've got toffee apple, which is just such a beautiful, beautiful flavour partnership. So no, it's really, really tasty.
I can also get the aroma of milk chocolate in this, besides coffee.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's right through the middle, milk chocolate.
Yeah.
We used to have at our childhood days, the same days. I just have it. Yeah, so
you can still eat milk chocolate today, no?
Yeah. But I'm talking about toffee.
Oh,
That's
toffee, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can't eat toffee. Your dentist won't like that.
It had very, very peculiar taste. Milk toffee. I don't remember anybody else has it or not. So
yeah, it's like
else popping the question?
So finish is typically sherry finish of this whiskey.
Shalab pushna chahte.
Yeah, Shalab.
Yeah, Shalab, go ahead. You are unmuted already.
Yeah, so I would like to thank. I really love this thing. It's really good taste. The palate was very good. It was very smooth. I have also had Dalmore. I've had Glenmorangie. I love those drinks, and it's really nice. And I see a huge market for this thing. In fact, to be honest, I have first time I have seen this drink and I've tasted it. I wish I could have seen it more in other outlet across, but I've seen the price also. It's very reasonably priced, and it's really nice. My feedback is from all the four parts. The palate, the taste, the smoothness, everything is amazing. Wish you all the luck.
So what are the all? Sumit, what are the all markets you are present in?
Well, we are there across markets, probably more than about 17 states in India. And the top 3-4 for us currently are, of course, Maharashtra, we have Karnataka, we also have Delhi and Haryana. Those are the top four markets as of now, but it's growing across.
Okay. So
what could be the MRP of Jura in Delhi or Gurgaon?
Delhi is 5690.
5690.
So it's really very good price.
right.
As against Mumbai, which is about 7,500, 7,490. So it's a really good bargain in Delhi, thanks to the government.
Yeah.
Obviously. So can we see all other people who have joined us? Can they show? Can they put on their video?
Nishant, you have anything to say?
Yeah, Nishant, you.
You're on mute, Nishant.
It was so very, it was burst of flavor in my mouth. I would say I'm confused what exactly I have to say, whether it's peaty, smoky, chocolatey, or something spicy. It's a mixed flavor of it, yeah, and it's not hard at the palate. I'm loving it, I would say.
Great to hear. Thank you for your feedback.
Thank you.
So Tipish, do you want to ask something?
Hi, Shalini. No, I'm just enjoying it. And amongst others, I'm one of those who's having this for the first time. So I'm just trying to put it in place. It seems to be a very balanced one. A lot of single malts have a very huge one character which stands out, by which a lot of people identify it. So this one is a lot more balanced, and you need to sort of go through it to be able to appreciate it properly. And I wouldn't, for the life of me, use a single malt to make a cocktail. I use cheaper whiskeys for that.
Yeah, I would also like to make the cocktails first. The moment the session gets over, I would like to make it.
Sure. Yeah, but it's a nice balanced whiskey. I mean,
it is.
It's got a finishing taste of caramel, a little bit of a caramel note in it towards the end. That's what I'm getting.
Okay.
I can definitely share one thing, which is I know that we always end up using economical variants when we make cocktail, but the golden rule of cocktail making also says that the actual quality of the cocktail depends on the raw material that you use. So if you next time replace it with a nice good whiskey like this, you will see definitely the results are a lot better for the cocktail.
So we have Jura with us, we have Aperol with us, and we have the mixer, what Martin told us just right now.
So keep some for us, we'll come and enjoy together at your home.
Yes, absolutely.
Ajay, want to say anything?
Well, yes. First of all, I would like to thank Vishen and Shalini Bhabi, and also Stephen for the wonderful talk he gave, the introduction about this whiskey. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the taste, drinking it for the first time. Thank you, Vishen.
And the weather is perfect in Delhi.
Oh, yes.
I was sitting at a nice backdrop.
Sitting next to the fireplace today.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Rajneesh Bhai, do you want to ask anything?
I've tried this both many times. I really like Jura. I've always liked it. I find it very smooth, chocolatey, yes, and very, very gentle in the throat.
You are a great connoisseur of single malts. I know that, and you have a lovely collection at your home.
Stephen, allow me to introduce Mr. Rajesh Bahal properly. He is the co-founder of Malt Monks. This is very exclusive single malt lovers club, which me and Ravneesh and Shalini formed about 3 years back. And Tipish and Sandeep Mishra and who else? I see other people also, which I don't see.
And he is also owner of Embassy Hotel. No.
It's a very iconic restaurant in the Connaught Place called the Embassy. So he has a very fine collection at his home.
Also.
And if he says the whiskey is good,
So then
let's
means it's
take
good.
I look forward to sharing a glass with you, Rajni.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You love to have
I'd just like to add one small thing. This whiskey takes me back to college. Right, Rajnish? Bunny and I went to college together. It takes us back to college because that was the time when we used to drink whiskey in the afternoon.
आज बहुत सारे राज खुल रहे हैं.
I would like to add here one point. I like somebody said in the conversation that normally in India we drink whiskey, we add water, we add soda, and then we add more water, and then we make it like a big glass, and then we have it. So I'm also the similar category. In fact, my elder brother, who's also connoisseur in drinking, he used to scold me all the time. Whenever I used to pour all these scotches in my glass and pour soda and all that, he used to actually scream at me, "Don't sit in front of me when you drink scotch and all." So today, I actually just had this whiskey and just ice cube. I really enjoyed it. In fact, the right way to drink this thing would be just simple whiskey. That's all, nothing else. Nothing, not even a water in a ice cube also. My feedback.
Yes,
Thank you, Shalab.
Ria, you want to ask something? Anything?
Thank you, Shalini ji. Thank you, Bishan ji, for having me over. I love single malts, but I wouldn't claim to say that I know a lot about it. So today's session was very informative. Stephen, especially thanks to you. I think the way you took us through the journey, the experience of drinking a whiskey becomes much more better once you know where it comes from. So I think it's wonderful, and I look forward to enjoying this drink, in future. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ria. Appreciate it.
Sanjay, do you have a question?
You're on mute, Sanjay.
We can't hear you.
Classic, isn't it?
Yeah, thank you, Martin, for the wonderful presentation. It was really very good to go on that tour, virtual tour, and get to know the distilleries from inside. It always adds to one's knowledge and the whole mystery behind, the lovely world of single malts for us here in India. I've had Jura for the first time, and my impression, I would rate the taste somewhat caramelish. That's what I get. And it has impressed me a lot. And I intend to, make this my staple single malt whenever I have it. Already I've decided that. Specifically for the reason that, it can be had without any additives. Like somebody in the panel earlier said, maybe add soda or water. Because I used to put soda so that the bitterness goes away. But this whiskey I find to be the right mix that you can have standalone without adding anything. So that is a big plus for me in this whiskey.
Yes,
Thanks, Sanjay.
Yes, Sandeep.
Yeah, I had the point to make. If I said the measure of whiskey, Scotch whiskey, or a single malt whiskey, the same measure of water, no soda, topped up with ice. So I didn't mention soda. In fact, I maintain that any Scotch whiskey, soda kills its taste. So soda is a big no-no when you're having Scotch whiskey.
Soda is blasphemy.
Yeah, it ruins the taste completely.
Yes. If you have good Scotch whiskey in your bar, there's no place for soda. There has to be a social distancing between soda and
Exactly,
Scotch whiskey.
absolutely. Even if you are not a whiskey lover, you need to enjoy the basic taste of it. It's
Yes.
not like that you have to love the whiskey, but the taste should be, as he said, the standalone taste of any whiskey or a Scotch.
If I may add, whiskey, like a lot of other drinks, is also dependent on what kind of mood or company you are in. So
Yes.
sometimes I am guilty of actually topping up it with soda. Sometimes Bunny always has soda for me in his house.
Yeah, but
once in a
I'm
while we
happy
do
for
that.
you. but I haven't touched soda in my whiskey for last 25 years.
I know, buddy, I know. But yeah, I mean, the real taste of whiskey will never come with any additive. Perhaps a few drops of water just to take away that, just to dilute it just that little bit. Otherwise, there's no other way.
Dipesh, we have to respect the masters of whiskey makers. They have worked so hard to create that beautiful aromas and taste of the whiskey.
Absolutely.
If you add anything, you destroy everything.
I think
Not you, but we. So we, as a purist, I weep if my guests ask for soda if I'm serving good scotch. So it's a big no-no for me.
yeah, it takes years to them to create a good blend.
Yes, that is right. That is quite correct.
Yeah, my reason for adding soda was only because because it helped me reduce the bitterness. In this whiskey, in this single malt, I don't find that problem at all.
Right.
So that is why you can have it as a purist. So I finally found that brand.
Mr. Mattu, you have anything to add here?
Well, I haven't had a taste of the whiskey as such, but I am a by profession, I am a cook. So what we do is we pair whiskeys with the different kinds of food. What I have been hearing about the Jura is that it will pair very well with the Indian food, because all the whiskeys or all the spirits which have a smoky flavor, they go very well with the Indian food. So I have a feeling that this will have a very good pairing with the Indian food. And as far as the whiskey is concerned, and I'm a whiskey drinker, as Dipesh and Bunny would know for last so many years, and afternoon whiskey drinker also. I wouldn't add anything to the whiskey. I mean, whether it is bitter or whether it is whatever flavors, I want to get that taste. I want to get that flavor of whatever ingredients are in that whiskey. So I wouldn't recommend adding anything to a whiskey. So that's my take on it. But I see Jura has got a great potential to pair with especially the tandoori food and the Indian starters.
Great.
Yeah, I'm already feeling hungry. Madhur.
But I would definitely love to taste it and see how it goes with my palate.
Lovely. Madhur, you have to add anything there? Please unmute yourself. We can't hear you.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
First of all, I want to thank you, Vishan and Charlie, to let us join this wonderful session. Although I have taken this Jura whiskey for the very, very first time, I had never heard about it. But the lovely presentation made by Stephen deserves congratulations from my side. And really, the whiskey is very tasty, and it has a smoky taste also. I love it, and I wish good luck to Jura. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam. Love it.
Yeah.
One more point I'd like to add, Sandeep here.
Yeah.
Yes,
In case you can see my screen, this is the best way to have a single malt.
No, I can't see you.
Okay, it's very dark. No.
Yeah.
It's very dark.
Okay, right from the cast.
Yeah. so this stands as my bar.
Oh, great.
For that, you have to go to Stephen to rate his house.
But I am coming to your distillery, Stephen.
Yes, you're more than welcome.
The moment
Can't
government allows to travel, I am coming there.
Yes, no, we can't wait to have you over. It's the best place in the world to drink Scotch whiskey.
So there's a very small town of Isle of Jura. Is a one single road, one pub, one post office. So in that pub, do what kind of drink people they generally consume? Is it only Jura or some other whiskey?
No. Honestly, they drink everything. They've got an incredible selection of whiskey, of Jura whiskey. So they've got the biggest collection of Jura probably in the world. And people drink beer. There's also a gin distillery on the north of. They drink their local gin.
Okay.
as well. So they drink everything. They drink beer, wine, whiskey. But it's just such a great place to enjoy whiskey because of the people that you meet and the people that come in, because everybody goes in drinking because there's not an awful lot else to do. So you just get chatting with the locals and everybody's got a story. You never get the truth, but they always give you a story. But about half the population of the island they're not from Jura. They just say that they ended up getting blown there. You know, they went on holiday and never left, or they fell in love or whatever. But you never get the true story. I think a lot of people go to Jura, you know, they're hiding. So they never ever tell you exactly why they're there because it's such a remote place, very difficult place to get to. But fascinating people with a great sense of humour. And they like a whiskey or two as well.
Great.
Anyone else would like to ask any question
Or any
to
observation?
Stephen, any observation, or Sumedh or Karishma? Everyone is there. And even I think you want to know where in Delhi it's available. I think Nadima is there. She can share the insight with us.
Sure.
Anyone wants to like, where can we get it? At the outlets in Delhi? Nadima?
This is the time when people buy the liquor. This is the Christmas time, the New Year time. So I think everybody will rush to in fact, I would certainly go and buy this alcohol. So it would be nice if we can know the outlet in Noida, Delhi.
Delhi. To that, I'm in Doon right now. So if we have an outlet which can get me Jura, I'm happy to go and pick up a bottle.
Of course, there is one at just in the main market. It's in Dehradun.
Rajpura.
I will let you know the name of the shop. I don't remember the name of it, but it's just in the main market. So Jura is there in Dehradun as well. With regards to Delhi, it's in all key retail outlets. So whether it's you have Sisuri or the South X markets, or I can just practically share my number and please get in touch with me. We'll make it available wherever you require it. But it's there at all top South Delhi key retailers. Jura is available all across Delhi.
Great. So should we wrap up or?
Stephen, your closing comments?
Yeah, no, I look forward to visiting next year. I was meant to come out this year to visit a few different cities, and we visited a few last year, but I think there's so much work to do and there's so many places to visit and people that I want to go and share a couple of whiskies with. So hopefully I'll come out next year to see you all. But this has been great to be able to do this virtually. And thank you for your time, dedicating a little bit of time to pour a glass of Jura and dial in and listen to us. It's so important for us to be able to tune in and talk to you all about our whiskies. It's so invaluable for us, but that only works if you are generous enough with your time. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the whiskies. And in Scotland, we say a big Slanjava.
It's always good to start an evening with a musical note. And what better way to start this evening than to have nationally acclaimed DJ Akhil with his high-octane, mood-elevating numbers. As you all know, DJ Akhil has a huge fan following, crossing 7 lakhs and more followers. So get ready to groove on his foot-tapping numbers, which is brought to you by Magic Moments Vodka. So DJ Akhil in the house and magic is in the air. Let's hit it.
Are you from here?
No.
Just visiting.
It's my last night actually.
One night?
Mm-hmm.
That's so many moments.
तो क्या एक रात में पूरी जिंदगी जी सकते हैं?
क्यों नहीं? ट्राई करते हैं?
यादों की दुनिया कलमों के सिक्के हजारों की ये रात है बटोर
कैसी रही जिंदगी?
Every moment was magic.
Magic in your eyes, there's magic in the air. यादों की गुंजन है लम्हों के सिक्के, हजारों की ये रातें हैं बटोर ले अपनी। Magic's in the air.
What really matters in life is passion and devotion. People who put all their heart in what they do and become the best. Be really good at what you do and show it to others. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands up in the air and welcome the legend, DJ Akil Ali.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Spiritz Achievers Award 2020, guys. That's the year. Oh yeah, brought to you by Magic Moments. My name is DJ Akil and the man doing all the magic behind me is Vijay Tarang. And we're gonna make you party tonight, guys. Welcome to the party, everybody. The Spiritz Achievers Awards 2020. There's magic in the air. Oh yeah. Are you ready to party? Oh yeah. It's lovely for the awards. And the award is always to celebrate. Oh yeah. It's party time. There's magic in the air. Sakogi. There's magic in the air. yeah, welcome to the awards night. Oh yeah. I hope all of you are having fun. I want to see all of you dance. Go crazy, go crazy. Yeah, we're gonna play some mad music today. We're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah. It's the awards night brought to you by Magic Moment. Magic, magic. Everybody loves this song. Oh yeah. Welcome to the party. Oh yeah. The awards night. We love it. And we're just getting started. Oh yeah. Who doesn't love this song? The legendary DTLJ. That's right. Welcome to the party. Oh yeah. Magic in the air. Oh yeah. And I disappear like magic, you see. Magic, magic.
हमको कहते सुपरमैन ऑन कर लो हैंडीकैम फ्रॉम AM to PM बंदे अच्छो सर्विसमैन
Oh yeah. Put your hands up in the air. Hey, 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 hey. Oh yeah, it's party time. All you Spirit Achievers Awardees. Oh yeah, for you.
ਤੈਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਲਵ ਕਰਦਾ ਬੇਮਤਲਬ ਕਰਦਾ ਬਾਹੋਂ में आ सोनिए बस आज रात के लिए साडी तो देसी है अदा साडे ते हो जानी फिदा बाहों में आ सोनिए बस आज रात के लिए सुबह होने ना दे साथ होने ना दे एक दूसरे को हम सोने ना दे मैं तेरा हीरो हाँ हीरो मैं तेरा हीरो ਹਾਏ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੂੰ ਹੌਟ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਲੱਖਾਂ ਦਾ ਨੋਟ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਮੌਕਾ ਮਿਲਾ ਹੈ ਅਭੀ ਹੋਗਾ ਨਾ ਫਿਰ ਇਹ ਕਦੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਤੂੰ ਟੱਚ ਕਰ ਲੈ ਏ ਮਜ਼ਾ ਤੂੰ ਮੱਚ ਕਰ ਲੈ ਏ ਬਾਹੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਆ ਸੋਣੀਏ ਬਸ ਅੱਜ ਰਾਤ ਕੇ लिए
Oh yeah, the man, the machine, Sukhbir Singh in the house. Oh yeah, guys, put your hands up. Oh yeah, Spirit's Night.
दिल देना दिल लेना दिल देना दिल लेना ऐसा दा खरा खरा ऐसा दा खरा खरा ऐसा दा खरा खरा ऐसा दा
Magic in the air.
दिल देना दिल लेना दिल देना दिल लेना ऐसा दा खरा खरा ऐसा दा खरा खरा ऐसा दा खरा खरा ऐसा दा खरा खरा दिल दे सादे विच न चलदे ना सोना ना चांदी दिल दा सौदा करिए बेशक जावे जान जे जांदी ते सौदा सौदा खरा खरा ते सौदा खरा खरा ते सौदा खरा खरा ते सौदा खरा खरा
Arey Nacho, it's Spiritz Achievers Award night. Oh yeah. Arey Nacho. Oh yeah. Eat, sleep, rave, repeat. Eat, sleep, rave, repeat.
Eat, sleep, rave, repeat.
The magic moment night.
Eat, sleep, rave, repeat. Eat, sleep, rave, repeat. Eat, sleep, rave, repeat.
Magic in the air. Yeah, are you ready? Oh yeah, awards night. We love this song on the awards night, guys. Oh yeah, maza aa gaya. Oh yeah.
ਮੁੰਡੇ ਕੁੜੀਓ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਪਾਉਣ ਨੂੰ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਓ ਆਏ ਤੇੜ ਪਾਵੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਾਨ ਕੱਢ ਜਾਵੇ ਆਏ ਤੇੜ ਪਾਵੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਾਨ ਕੱਢ ਜਾਵੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਨਾਲ ਲੱਗਣਾ ਆਏ ਤੇੜ ਪਾਵੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਾਨ ਕੱਢ ਜਾਵੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਲਾਲ ਕੱਗਰਾ ਰਾਤਾਂ ਦੀ ਨੀਂਦ ਉਡਾਵੇ ਪਿਲਾਉਣੀ ਤੇਰਾ
Oh yeah. Magic, magic.
जनवरी गोर लगती है प्रोडक्ट्स लगा के गोरी गिरती गोर लगती है दूर किया है जादू दुनिया हुआ में काबू न कर कमाल अपने दीवाने का करके पूरा हाल लेकिन अकीलों से गोली मारे अकीलों से गोली मारे लड़की को मार लेकिन अकीलों से गोली मारे अकीलों से गोली मारे लड़की को मार लेकिन अकीलों से गोली मारे चोरी चोरी चुपके मैं भी तुझ पे मरता था शाम सवेरे दिल पर जाने प्यार तुझी से करता था चोरी चोरी चुपके मैं भी तुझ पे मरती थी शाम सवेरे दिल पर जाने प्यार तुझी से करती थी जिसको चाहे पागल कर दे अपने हुस्न के जादू से उसके लंबे काले काले उसके लंबे काले काले आंखों से पार लेकिन अकीलों से गोली मारे अकीलों से गोली मारे लड़की को मार लेकिन अकीलों से गोली मारे
Are you ready to party?
अकीलों से
Goli, goli.
लड़की को मार लेकिन
Magic in the air. अरे नाचो. Oh yeah, we're just getting started in the party. I can see all those hands up in the air. Oh yeah. Now blow some whistle, guys. It's time, it's time. You know for whom? There's magic in the air. Spiritz Awards. A Spiritz Award. The Spiritz Achievers. Are you ready? Magic, magic, magic. The magic of Spiritz Awards. Oh yeah, the Young Achievers Awards. Are we ready to party? It's 2020. Magic, magic. Yeah. Magic in the air. Are we ready to party? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the awards night. Oh yeah, like I say, all good things come to an end. The magic behind was with VJ Tarang. I am DJ Akil, and this is brought to you by Magic Moments, the Spiritz Achievers Awards 2020. Good night, hope you had fun. Take care and see you soon. Ciao.
Salam, Namaste, Sasrikal, Vanakkam, Kimcho, and a very good evening to one and all. On behalf of Spiritz Magazine, I welcome all of you to Spiritz Achievers Awards 2020. Well, during the last few months, we did face an unprecedented black swan period, resulting in social, economic, and personal dooms for millions. Human desire to excel, however, never submit to such adversities. Rather, it kindles greater resolve to stand tall and get noticed. Today, we have gathered to celebrate such high achievers and trailblazers who withstood these adversities and emerged stronger. At Spiritz, we salute these achievers. It's indeed a matter of great pleasure that this year your favorite Spiritz magazine has achieved 4 important milestones. Number 1, your favorite magazine just celebrated its 11th anniversary in August 2020. Second, for the first time in the history of India, at Spiritz Selection 2020, blind tasting of wine, spirits and beer was organized by Spiritz magazine. Number 3, we launched Spiritz TV, which is India's first dedicated television for food, drinks and lifestyle. And last but not the least, the entire Spiritz Selection Awards 2020 was streamed live on Spiritz TV. And this was all possible because of the visionary team and never say die attitude of the dedicated professionals. it was back in 2009 when Mr. Bishan Kumar and Mrs. Shalini Kumar decided to start an endeavor like this. And today we are at the 7th edition of Spiritz Achievers Awards, and this is the first ever virtual edition of Spiritz Achievers Awards. Our aim at Spiritz Achievers Awards 2020 is to honor sheer excellence. Our aim is to honor the devotion, the hard work and dedication of the fraternity. Before we start our proceedings of awards, I'd like to invite Spiritz founders Mr. Bishan Kumar and Mrs. Shalini Kumar to give away some idea about how these awards were judged.
It has been our resolve to make the awards most honest, transparent and credible in every sense. At Spiritz, our approach is very clear that if the awards are not earned through merit and performance, awardees won't accept it. I want to say with absolute confidence that all the winners in each category are the most deserving ones, chosen by our wise jury. I am sure we will hear a huge round of applause for these flag bearers of high performances. Now, I would like to introduce our august jury panel. Mr. Jolly Bhargav, former President of Shaw Wallace. Mr. Shobhan Roy, Director General of All India Brewers Association. Mr. Pradeep Gidwani, founder of The Pint Room. Mr. V. Ramesh Mani, former CEO of Focus Brands. Mr. Vinod Giri, Director General of CIABC. Mr. Raja Mukherjee, former MD of AB InBev. Mr. Ravindra Kumar, Corporate GM, The Lalit. Mr. Amarjeet Singh Ahuja, Director Purchase, Lee Meridian, Delhi. Mr. Harshvardhan, former MD of Vayudoot. Dr. Satish Mishra, a veteran journalist. Mr. Bishan Kumar, a veteran journalist and Editor-in-Chief, Spiritz.
Thank you so much, Shalini ji. I would now request Mr. Bishan Kumar to tell us more about these awards.
थैंक यू धारणा। आसान नहीं था एक मुश्किल दौर में इतने बड़े अवार्ड प्रोसेस को पूरा कर पाना, बट इंडस्ट्री केम ऑन बोर्ड एंड दे filed their nominations on time, and the 10 categories were participated by the industry. Also, jury very graciously accepted our invitations and they came on board, and they went through each nominations seriously and they rated each nominations. We at Spiritz tabulated the results and now we are ready with final results. They are sealed but to be revealed very soon. Let's wait who the winners are.
those of your viewers who are watching us live, do press that like button on the live streaming so that we can know you are excited about Spiritz Achievers Awards 2020. And trust me, we are equally excited. And do not forget to like and subscribe to Spiritz TV. Before we move on to the main awards, at Spiritz, we want to felicitate the Indian Flair Bartenders Association IFBA for the splendid work it did for the bartending and hospitality community during the pandemic. I would now invite Mr. Bishan Kumar and Mrs. Shalini Kumar to present the Spiritz felicitation.
IFBA is India's non-profit organization run by bartenders for the bartending community's welfare and development. During these difficult times, this organization helped about 300 hospitality professionals and also organized thousands of master classes and helped many distressed bartenders through their digital programs on mental health and other issues.
So while we are talking about IFBA, it's very hard not to mention about पंकज कामले. पंकज कामले आज हम लोगों के बीच में नहीं है. अभी रिसेंटली ही वो हमें छोड़कर चला गया. पंकज केवल हम लोगों का स्पिरिट्स टीम का ही नहीं, पूरी बारटेंडिंग कम्युनिटी का एक बहुत प्यारा बच्चा था.
It's a very shocking news for all of us, especially for the bartending community. और ये बड़े दुख की बात है ऐसे मौके पर जब हम IFBA को फेलिसिटेट कर रहे हैं, उसका को-फाउंडर हमारे बीच में नहीं है. वो होता तो बहुत खुश होता.
पंकज के दिल में बारटेंडिंग कम्युनिटी के करने के लिए बहुत उत्साह था. वो हमेशा उत्साह से भरा रहता था कि कुछ ना कुछ नया करें, उनको हेल्प करें. इसीलिए उसने 2015 में एक प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज़ किया था खोपोली महाराष्ट्र में, जिसके लिए ही वॉज़ वेरी कीन टू पार्टनर विद स्पिरिट्स मैगजीन. और हम लोग वहाँ पर गए थे, हम लोगों ने अटेंड किया था. इट वाज वेरी वेल कंडक्टेड प्रोग्राम एंड उसमें लगभग 150 से 200 तक बारटेंडर्स ने पार्टिसिपेट किया था एंड एवरीवन अप्रिशिएटेड दैट. हम लोगों के भी जब हम लोगों ने पहला अपना स्पिरिट्स 2014 अचीवर्स अवार्ड शुरू किया था, तब पंकज अपने दोस्त सचिन गौड़ा के साथ आके उसने फ्लेयरोलॉजी शो किया था एंड सब लोगों ने उसे बहुत पसंद किया था. लाखों लोगों ने फेसबुक पर लाइक किया था. हम लोग पंकज को कभी नहीं भूल सकते. आज हम IFBA को फेलिसिटेट कर रहे हैं पंकज को याद करते हुए.
मेरी गुजारिश है बारटेंडिंग कम्युनिटी से और मेंटर्स से कि इस मुश्किल मौके पे वो ये मान के चले कि हम उनके साथ हैं और कोई भी मुश्किल हो, कोई भी तकलीफ़ से गुजर रहे हों, वो स्पिरिट्स को किसी भी मौके पर किसी भी समय कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं. अपने ख्याल रखें, स्वस्थ रहें, सेफ रहें.
साथ ही साथ आप खाली स्पिरिट्स पर ही नहीं, हम लोगों को हमारे पर्सनल नंबर पर भी फ़ोन करके बात कर सकते हैं. और इस मौके पर हमारी इंडस्ट्री से भी ये गुजारिश है कि वो लोग आगे बढ़कर आएँ, किसी प्रोग्राम के ज़रिए या किसी भी ज़रिए इस कम्युनिटी की हेल्प करें.
Well, it's now time to set the ball rolling for Spiritz Achievers Awards 2020. We now move on to the first category, the Ambassadors of the Industry. This award is conferred on the individuals who, in past 12 months, have helped alcohol beverage industry to create a buzz about brands, made an impact on the companies, designed a personal development plan or orientation programs to inspire people working in the same area. They've also represented India in international forum to make the country proud. I would now request Mr. Pradeep Gidwani, founder of the Point Room, to reveal the winner of Ambassador of the Year category.
Spiritz Achievers Awards 2020 for the Ambassador of the Year. The Gold Award goes to Ankur Chawla, founder Scope Bev. What a fabulous job Ankur has done over the course of the last 1 year. A big congratulations to Ankur.
Thank you very much to Spiritz Magazine for giving me such an honor. Ambassador of the Year definitely means a lot. It obviously brings a lot of responsibility as well. And I hope and I pray to God that I can take this responsibility, going forward as well. I also would love to thank all the partners and all the brands and all the restaurateurs who gave us this opportunity to work for them and showcasing their trust in us as well. I hope we were able to live up to the expectations, and going forward, as I said, it brings a lot of responsibility. So we are ready to take that head on. And from the entire team of Scope, I want to thank Spiritz Magazine and the fraternity for giving us such an honor. Thank you very much again, and hope to see you all soon.
Ambassador of the Year Gold, Trade Ambassador, goes to Harish Achrekar from Bacardi, India. A really big hand to Harish.
Hi, I'm Harish Achrekar, the Bacardi Portfolio Ambassador in India. I would like to thank the Spiritz Magazine and the jury for such a great recognition. This award is dedicated to all the Bacardi employees who have been fearless and resilient during tough times. Together, we'll make conscious efforts to raise the spirits of the industry. Cheers.
So congratulations to the winners, and it's now time to move on to the next coveted category of award, which is the Startup of the Year. This award is given to a company which came into being during last 12 months with a clear business idea, with good potential and showed good prospects in long term. So I would once again request Mr. Pradeep Gidwani to reveal the winner in this category.
The next award for the Spiritz Achievers Awards 2020 is the Startup of the Year Gold Award for breweries. And this goes to Briggs Brewery from Bangalore. They've done a phenomenal job in creating some fantastic beers here.
Hi, I'm Aditya, the marketing manager at Briggs Brewery. It gives our team immense joy to have been picked as the Startup of the Year in the Spiritz Achievers Award 2020. Hari Singh, founder of Briggs Brewery, along with a team of talented professionals, have worked towards bringing international flavors of craft beers easily accessible and suitable for the Indian palate. Briggs Brewery was started in Bangalore by a group of like-minded individuals, and we hope we will grow enough to be available in all cities across the country. I'm elated to be a part of this wonderful team. Cheers to their hard work. They made this win possible. Again, thank you and cheers.
Well, the next category is Product Debut of the Year. This award is conferred on a product which showed impressive results in last 12 months with a clear edge over its competitors, having solid USPs. I would once again request Mr. Pradeep Gidwani to reveal the winner for this category.
The Spiritz Achievers Awards 2020 for the Product Debut of the Year Gold. Another brewery from Delhi NCR, Pure 360 Brew King Beverages. Congratulations, the beer is absolutely fantastic. I have been enjoying it myself.
Hi everyone, I am Vineet Chadha. I am the National Sales Head with Brew King Beverages Private Limited. I want to thank everyone for giving this award to us. We are a very young brand, and to be in the company of such distinguished recipients makes us feel very proud. We have received a lot of positive response on our product, and we consider this award to be the validation for the same. It also makes our job a little more difficult, as we have to constantly strive to exceed the expectations, and more so with this award under our belt. Thank you once again.
And now we move on to the next category. Product Debut of the Year, Gold. And this goes to something we all really love and enjoy. Hendrick's Midsummer Solace from William Grant & Son. Super job done, guys. Well done.
Product Debut of the Year for Hendrick's Midsummer Solstice limited release. We are so
overjoyed to have received this award. It's fantastic to see Hendrix grow further, and with the Midsummer Solstice, we managed to unlock a brand new experience for our consumers and customers. And this award is a showcase of just the kind of work that we've put into the brand and into making sure that the product reaches our consumers in 2020, despite a host of challenges. Thank you, Spiritz. Appreciate it. Cheers.
And now we move on to another award in the wine category, Product Debut of the Year Gold. Any guesses, people? It goes to Tilt from Fratelli Wines. What a fabulous job they've done in marketing. Have you all seen the beautiful job that they've done with launching wines and cans, giving a completely new dimension to the wine category? Super job, Fratelli Wines.
We at Fratelli are deeply honored to receive Product Debut of the Year from Spiritz for our newly launched Tilt cans, crushed, fermented and blended in India's largest privately owned vineyards in Akluj. Tilt comes in 4 different flavors. Tilt is a very special project for all of us at Fratelli because it was the last passion project of my late uncle, Mr. Sekhri. So it's our responsibility now for Tilt to receive similar success as the brand of Fratelli has and to take the legacy forward. Lastly, I'd like to say it's time for all of us to tilt a perspective. Thank you.
Product Debut of the Year, Silver, goes to McCroy's Blended Scotch Whisky from Angus Dundee. Again, fantastic job. Congratulations, Angus Dundee India Private Limited.
I am extremely honored to receive the Debut Product Award for McCroy's Blended Scotch Whisky. I thank the jury and the organizers for the recognition. We had faced a lot of challenges to reach this podium. I thank my principals in UK and my team in India who have really worked hard to reach this stage. I again thank everyone. Cheers.
Now this is another fantastic award. Product Debut of the Year, Gold, Scotch Hipster from Diageo, India. What a fabulous job they've done with Black Dog, Black and White, and White 69, putting it out into these fantastic hipster bottles, repositioning Scotch, targeting the youth. Really great job.
Thank you to the Spiritz Achievers Awards team for awarding us the Product Debut of the Year 2020 to Scotch Hipster. This award is a true testimony to the spirit of inclusion and partnership that we celebrate at Diageo. Here's to our global marketing and our local marketing and insight teams. Here's to our commercial and customer marketing teams. Here's to our supply and finance teams. And here's to our agency partners. Thank you.
The next award category is for the fastest growing brand. This award is given to a brand that has shown exceptional growth during last 12 months. So once again, I would request Mr. Pradeep Gidwani to do the honors.
Spiritz Achievers Awards 2020 for the fastest growing beer brand. The Gold Award goes to Be Young from Kimaya Himalayan Beverages. I'm sure all of you have seen this, have really enjoyed this. They've really taken a couple of markets, including Delhi, by storm.
Thank you, Spiritz Magazine, members of the jury, and our loyal customers for making Be Young India's fastest growing brand of 2020. I'd like to thank my team for shining through in spite of the challenges posed by COVID-19. I'd also like to thank my loyal customers for their unflinching support and love for Be Young. I'm sure that we'll break newer records in 21. Thank you, everyone.
The Spiritz Achievers Award 2020 for the fastest growing brand in the gold category, whiskey. These guys have done it again and again and again. Yeah. 8 p.m. premium black whiskey, Radico Khaitan. Keep doing the fantastic job that you've been doing for years. Yeah.
So thank you, Spiritz, for conferring the Gold Category Award to 8 PM Premium Black as the fastest growing whiskey in the semi-premium segment. The brand has received tremendous response in all states where it has been launched. It was launched in the market only last year, and I'm glad to state that it is on its way to becoming a million case brand this year. Also, I would humbly like to state that the 8 PM family of brands have crossed the 10 million cases mark in the current fiscal. And 8 PM Premium Black particularly is going to be a million case brand in the current fiscal. So thank you once again, and all the best to all of you and to all Radiconians who have contributed to this success.
And now we move on to the fastest growing brand, Gold Category Scotch Whisky, Monkey Shoulder from William Grant and Sons. What a fantastic way of marketing this Scotch. Super job, guys. Well done, team William Grant.
Wow, a gold for the fastest growing brand of the year 2020 for Monkey Shoulder. The entire team at William Grant & Sons has put in a lot of effort in making this happen. So a big thanks to everyone in the team who we work with, and of course our global team as well. This is a fantastic honor, of course, for Monkey Shoulder, because the industry has pretty much been facing a very challenging time, and given the fact that we've managed to grow despite all the challenges 2020 has thrown at us, we're super happy to have received this awards. Thank you, Spirit, and thank you to the jurors for making this happen. Cheers.
So with this, we come to the end of the first set of awards, and to our viewers who are watching us live, do give us a clap in the chat box if you're enjoying this stream. And do not forget to share this live streaming with your near and dear ones. The next award category is Promotion and Activation of the Year Digital and On Ground. The Digital Award is conferred upon companies who have promoted their brand through ingenious ideas on digital as well as online space, ensuring better profitability and better relationships with the customers. The award for the on-ground is conferred upon companies who have promoted their brands through ingenious ideas on-ground space and have successfully positioned themselves a cut above their competitors. I now request Mr. Vinod Giri, Director General of CIABC, to reveal the winners of Promotion and Activation Digital and On-Ground category.
The silver in the category Promotion and Activation of the Year Digital goes to Monkey Shoulder Work from Home program. Many congratulations to the team behind it.
From the Monkey Shoulder team at William Grant & Sons, thank you so much, Spiritz, for this award for the Digital Activation of the Year. We're really happy to have received this award. It's a testament to all the great work that we've put in over 2020 for the Work from Home campaign. And we're really happy that we've received this during this trying period. Thank you so much.
Spiritz Achievers Award 2020 for the category Promotions and Activation of the Year Digital. The silver also goes to Sterling Reserve Comedy Project from Allied Blenders and Distillers. Once again, many congratulations to the team for a fantastic work done. Thank you.
Thank you, Spiritz Achievers Award 2020, for giving us the Silver Award for Sterling Reserve Comedy Project under the category Promotions and Activations for the Year Digital. Thanks to this project, the brand has been strengthening over the years, and today we are the fastest growing spirits brand in the world. Thank you.
The Spiritz Achievers Award 2020 for Promotions and Activation of the Year Gold goes to Teachers Genuine Stories from Beam Suntory, India. Many congratulations to the team for executing this fantastic promotion ideas.
Hi everyone, we are extremely honored and privileged to receive this Gold Award for a 2020 edition of the Spiritz Achievers Award in Digital for Teachers Genuine Stories. Teachers Genuine Stories was created to create relatable and relevant content for the audience with stories that have a unique form of storytelling, talking not on the artists but on the form of stories that these artists bring out in their form, be it dance, music, poetry, film, or any other form of art. During the lockdown, we pivoted quickly to put our leverage on digital, and taking an observe, learn and improvise model, we looked at retargeting efficiently and also in driving efficiencies in our promotions, leading to us being recognized by Google as a global case study for best practices. So thank you everyone for this award once again. A special call out from all of us at Beam Suntory and our partner agencies Publicis and Zenith for this award. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Also, the Promotion and Activation of the Year Gold goes to another great brand and another great promotion, which is Officer's Choice Blue IPL Digital Dugout from Allied Blenders and Distillers. Heartiest congratulations to the team there too.
Thank you, Spiritz Achievers Award 2020, for giving us the Gold Award for the IPL dugout on Officer's Choice Blue. This year, during the IPL, we were the most visible brands in social and digital. We got more than 125 million views and over 5 million engagements. So thank you for conferring us the award.
Ladies and gentlemen, finally, promotion and activation of the year on ground. In that segment, the gold is won by Magic Moments from Radico Khaitan Limited. My heartiest congratulations to the team for a fantastic promotion idea and executing it so well.
Thank you, Spiritz, once again for conferring the Promotion and Activation of the Year On-Ground Award to Magic Moments. Magic Moments, as you know, is a formidable brand with a 56% market share in the country in the vodka category. We have associated with music as the mainstay for promoting this brand, and therefore we brought Sunburn as the presenting sponsor to the youth of this country and of course the target audience for the brand. Despite the economic slowdown and the pandemic, we made sure that we reached the mind and hearts of our consumers and their homes with activations like Bollywood music integration and tying up with top DJs of the country so that the consumer was constantly engaged with the brand and we kept entertaining them. So friends, this brand continues its journey to becoming a mega brand with lot more brand extensions in the new fiscal. And once again, best of wishes to all of you and to all Radiconians for putting in their untiring efforts in creating this brand and making sure that it succeeded. Thank you once again. All the best.
And the next award category is Retailer of the Year. This award is presented to retailers dealing with alcohol beverages products who have grown sales due to their ingenious ideas for brand promotion and sale and made concentrated efforts towards innovation in brand display, consumers' interaction and overall feel-good factor for the end customer. I'll again request Mr. Giri to do the honors.
Ladies and gentlemen, our much loved products finally meet consumers at the retailers. And some retailers go out of their way to make this union pleasant, selling not just the product, but creating a delightful consumer product interface. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to announce the best of the retailers this year. The Spiritz Achievers Award 2020 Retailer of the Year, the gold goes to the Liquor Warehouse Gurgaon from the ADS Group. Congratulations.
Hello everyone, I'm Prashant Shuganda. I'm here on behalf of ADS Group. I'm really glad to receive this Spiritz Achievers Award from Spiritz Magazine this year. And this is for the Liquor Warehouse, one of our premium retail liquor outlet that is there on MG Road. It is one of the largest in North India. And I guess it was the need of an hour. Looking at the current pandemic situation, the buying patterns of people had changed. And to fulfill that, to step in, we came up with this concept. And it's really clicking. All our customers are more than happy to see this experience where they can get complete range of domestic and international wines and spirits. All high-class liquor is available under one roof, which is very safe, hygienic, and ample of parking space.
There is one more retailer of the year that we must recognize. The gold for the retailer of the year also goes to Madhuloka Liquor Boutique, Bangalore, from Madhuloka Liquor Boutique Private Limited. Many congratulations to them too.
I would like to thank Spiritz Achievers Award 2020 for recognizing Madhuloka, the liquor boutique, as a retailer of the year in the gold category. Thanks to Spiritz once again.
Well, a big congratulations to all the winners, and the next category of awards is a very noble category, which is the CSR of the year. The award is given to the alcohol beverages companies who have undertaken CSR activities for betterment of the deprived people and environment protection and improvement during the past 12 months. I would once again request Mr. Giri to reveal the winner in this category.
Our industry thrives on our society. Whilst we have taken a lot from the world around us, it is also good to give something back to it. Many companies have made us proud by making contribution to the wellness of the society, and the next award is meant to honor that. Ladies and gentlemen, the Spiritz Achievers Award 2020 for CSR of the year, the gold goes to Radico Khaitan Limited. My congratulations to the team for doing such meaningful and great work for the people around them. Congratulations.
ए वीर सेनानी, तेरे जज्बे, तेरे हौसले, तेरी दीवानगी को पूरा भारतवर्ष नमन करता है।
खुली हवा है क्योंकि तुम हो, महकती फिजा है क्योंकि तुम हो मेरा रोम रोम तेरा कर्जदार है, हमारी ये आजादी तेरी कर्जदार है। शुक्रिया 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 हो शुक्रिया। जान दे के लहराया परचम हिंदुस्तान, जान दे के लहराया परचम हिंदुस्तान। सबसे है न्यारा मेरा हिंदुस्तान, सबसे है न्यारा मेरा हिंदुस्तान, सबसे है न्यारा मेरा हिंदुस्तान, सबसे है प्यारा मेरा हिंदुस्तान।
सर पे बांधे कफन रहता तू तैयार है, ए भारत के लाल तेरी जय जयकार है। क्या आंधी क्या तूफान तेरे आगे, तू जलजला तू बेमिसाल है।
आंधियां जो आई खुद से टकराई दोबारा लौट के न आई, बड़ी बड़ी शामातें भी तेरे आगे थर थर आई, रुक न पाई। तो तेरा रुतबा ऐसा है, तेरी शान ऐसी है, पूरा भारत वर्ष तुझको करे नमन। शुक्रिया हो शुक्रिया। सबसे है न्यारा मेरा हिंदुस्तान, सबसे है न्यारा मेरा हिंदुस्तान, सबसे है न्यारा मेरा हिंदुस्तान, सबसे है प्यारा मेरा हिंदुस्तान। सबसे है न्यारा मेरा हिंदुस्तान, सबसे है न्यारा मेरा हिंदुस्तान, सबसे है न्यारा मेरा हिंदुस्तान, सबसे है प्यारा मेरा हिंदुस्तान।
We
we as Radico Khaitan are very grateful to get this award of the CSR Company of the Year. We feel any company is responsible to give back to the society, to do whatever they can do best for the society. This year particularly has been a very trying year, particularly because of COVID. We are very happy that Radico has done whatever best it could, not only for the people but also for humanity as a whole. We are again very grateful that our efforts have been recognized and we have been given this prestigious award. Thank you very much once more, and Jai Hind.
So it's now time to move on to the last and the most prestigious set of awards. But before we move any further, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to Spiritz TV. So we now move further, and our next category is Leader of the Year. Every year, the jury decide one highest performer and leader for path-breaking initiative for this award. This year also, an equally deserving person will be feted. Let's wait and see who the proud winner of this coveted award is. I would now request Dr. Lalit Khaitan, Chairman Radico Khaitan, to open the envelope and let us all know who we are going to felicitate.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have the great honor personally
to announce now one of the most prestigious award being given today, and that is the Leader of the Year Gold Award. And this time, I feel it does not require any introduction, even it does not require any guesswork, because the gentleman who gets this award, everybody knows him. He has been a pioneer in the liquor industry, and he has been involved with the liquor industry for over 12 years. He is not else but Mr. Neeraj Kumar. Please give him a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. As you would know that Mr. Neeraj Kumar now is very closely connected with the Beam Suntory India, and in the very recent past, he has introduced many new brands. He has seen that the company grow, and because of his dynamic leadership, today in India, Beam Suntory is where it is. My compliments to Mr. Neeraj Kumar. Mr. Neeraj Kumar, congratulations. I personally wish you all the best. May God bless you, and may you rise higher and higher. God bless you, sir. Thank you very much.
Dear Spiritz team, to all the jury members and my friends in the industry, I'm deeply humbled. It's a huge honor and privilege to have been conferred this massive recognition. In the year we've just crossed with the COVID-19 challenges, I wouldn't be more proud of the team at Beam Suntory, which has helped us navigate this year and allowed me to participate and bring and guide the teams to actions, initiatives which build the community, which build our stakeholders, and as we grow for good, we grow the industry for good. Thank you very much.
The next and very prestigious category of award is Company of the Year. This award is open to all the alcohol beverages company who have done well in various aspects of business as well as in customer service in last 12 months. I would request Dr. Lalit Ketan one more time to reveal the name of winner in this category.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to announce the Company of the Year Gold Award. And this goes to a company which has been known for too many years in India, outside India, and in the globe. This company none other than Bacardi India Private Limited. In fact, if we look at Bacardi India, they have created few launches and they have been able to place their products, they have been able to put in a very different way how they sell their products, what they do their products. So my compliments to Bacardi India Private Limited, and the Gold Award goes to Bacardi India Private Limited. All the best to them. May they grow more and more as the year passes by, and may God bless them.
We are truly honored to receive this prestigious award from the Spiritz magazine. This award recognizes the pioneering work Bacardi in India is doing in the premium spirit segment. 2020 has been an extraordinary year for the company as well as for the industry. What is heartening to note that despite all the challenges, we as a company have made substantial progress in our journey towards becoming the best spirits company in the world. We truly believe that it's our culture which drives our business. In this extraordinary year, we have seen that our employees are living this culture more than ever. A testimony of this great culture is that Bacardi in India is a great place to work certified company, and we rank among the top 20 in the list of India's best mid-sized companies. We have also supported the community where we live in. We have supported the bartenders community through our initiative Raise the Bar. Our production facilities produced sanitizers in big volumes when it was the need of the hour. Thank you Spiritz magazine for recognizing us. This will help us to raise the bar further and continue doing some path-breaking work. Thank you.
The next category of award is the topmost honor of the evening, which is the Lifetime Achievement Award. It is a truth that major competencies of leadership can be learned if the basic desire to learn them exists. A vast majority of leaders are made through focused effort, hard work, and daily action. They'll tell you stories of their personal struggles and hardships. These stories are lessons for many of us. We are privileged to have one such tall leader amongst us, whom we are going to honor with the Lifetime Achievement Award. I request Dr. Lalit Khaitan to reveal the winner of the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Now I have to announce something which is very close to my heart. It is the Lifetime Achievement Gold Award, and it goes to the gentleman whom I have personally been associated for a very long time, who has been somebody with whom we have always been consulting also. He is the gentleman who started his stint in many places, including Shaw Wallace, then of course Bacardi's, and now for the last around 4 years, he is the Director General of All India Brewers Association. He is none other but a veteran of the liquor industry, Mr. Shobhan Roy. Please give him a big hand, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you Shalini and Bishop for the honor and the jury for selecting me. I started my career in this industry in the year 1970, and in 1978 I got married and Morarji Desai became the Prime Minister. The first thing he announced was prohibition, total prohibition. My father-in-law was so perturbed that he kept sending me job profiles for me to change. But I decided to continue in this industry because there was something very different from all other FMCG companies, and I developed a passion in this industry, especially in the line of blending, which I continue even till today. It is amazing to see how this industry has blossomed over the years, from homegrown brands only to BII brands to BIO brands. The entire international portfolio is now available in this country. In my journey to this level where I have reached today, it will be not correct on my part to thank the seniors who have helped me, guided me, the colleagues who worked with me and made me successful, and the horde of youngsters that kept inspiring me with their ideas, with their thought process, and also at times giving me the courage to take bold decisions. The cross-section of people associated with me at various stages in my life range from an age of 85 to 35. That's a huge range, and my thank you to each one of those people who have helped me down in my career. I must also take this opportunity to thank Spiritz Magazine for taking this initiative and continuing with their objectives even in these difficult times. Thank you.
Most of you are a witness to how Spiritz grew from a small setup to a bigger organization and how it became India's largest magazine of its sector. Its growth is historic in a scenario where a big number of print publications have been downing their shutters. So here's a glimpse of 11 years journey of Spiritz. So with this, we bring down the ceremonial curtains for Spiritz Achievers Awards 2020, but the evening is still young, so I hope all the winners and all our viewers are ready to rock with lots of drinks and cocktails. Well, with this, we say goodbye on behalf of Spiritz TV to all of you, and we hope to see you all next year in Spiritz Achievers Awards 2021. Till then, stay well, stay safe, and cheers with care.